Hey, before we start this series off, I just want to say thank you for supporting that Star Wars video. I didn't know it would do so well. And since you like Star Wars, should I do more Star Wars content? Let me know in the comments below. With all that being said, let's start a new series. This series will be called What If Cell Survived? Cell just blew himself up and got a massive Zenkai boost. He thinks about going back there, but he realizes something. If he goes back there, he'll lose the element of surprise. Besides, he could sense that Gohan had a deep power within him. But he got it through training. If he trained, maybe he can surpass Gohan. Instead of just charging in there and fighting, maybe he should get a better strategy. Cell decides to make everyone think he's dead and just flies off. Cell would find an abandoned planet and begin to train there. We cut to Gohan and Piccolo. As Gohan would cry, saying, "Dad, he gave up his life." Piccolo would touch his shoulder, say, "It's not your fault, Gohan. Besides, Cell's gone now. We did it." Gohan would nod, as the rest of them would walk off, and a couple months would pass as Cell got stronger and stronger. But eventually, as Cell could feel a form beneath him, he could feel himself reaching towards a new power. He saw a short little man walk up to him. You look impressive. How would you like to join my crew?" Cell would look down at the strange man and say, "Who are you?" "I am Babidi. I want to awaken Majin Buu, but I need strong warriors." Cell would say no, so then Babidi would try to take over his mind, but Cell would be too powerful. He would say, "You think I'll bow to you?" And he punches him, sending him flying. Babidi gets back up and says, "You resisted my mind control. Fine. Yakon, take care of him." A giant dinosaur-like beast would walk up. As suddenly, every time Cell charged up, he would absorb his energy again and again and again. Babidi began to laugh. "It's over for you. What's your name?" "My name's Cell, and I am perfect, made up the DNA of all the best warriors in the universe. And this Yakon creature won't stop me." He charges up with all of his might, with all of his power, as Yakon continues to absorb it till he blows up. Babidi gets scared as Pui Pui is then asked to defeat him. Pui Pui would look at Cell and go, "Is this who I'm fighting? Some giant overgrown bug? This will be easy." Cell said, "You do realize I am far more powerful than you. That's just a bluff. You can make your power level look bigger than it actually is. I can see past this bluff." Cell says, "I don't think that's how power levels work." Pui Pui charges and punches Cell as hard as he can, but it breaks his hand. As he falls to the floor, he cries out in pain. He goes, "Are you okay?" "No." "Well, I warned you." Cell just ki blasts and blows him up. Babidi is terrified as he runs back to the ship. He says, "Dabura, take care of him." Babura flies down and pulls out his sword. Cell goes, "Now you actually look interested. Let's see how far we can go." Dabura and Cell would push each other as far as they could. However, Cell was more powerful. He was training for weeks, and he had locked Super Saiyan Cell. Cell evolved. Ever since he got that Zenkai boost, he could feel the power coursing through his veins. Dabura put up one hell of a fight. He was surely stronger than the rest of them. Cell would say, "Why do you put up with that loser, Babidi?" "Babidi, loser? What are you talking about, Cell? Think about it. He's just using you. You don't understand our relationship. Together, we're gonna rule the universe." "Looks like you put too much trust in him, my friend," he said. "I think it's time to end this." Cell would summon a Destructo Disc, but suddenly Dabura would spit on him. Cell would laugh and say, "What kind of a technique?" But then he would start to turn to stone. Dabura would say, "Sorry, but it's over." But then he would throw the Destructo Disc, as it would cut Dabura in half. Cell would be completely turned to stone, but then the stone would fade, as he would walk closer and closer to the spaceship. Babidi was about to transport away, but then he felt a hand grab his neck. It was Cell. Cell would then say, "Is this Majin Buu strong?" Babidi would look up and go, "What? This Majin Buu, the person you're trying to awaken, is he a powerful fighter?" Babidi would go, "Yes, he's very strong." "Very strong? Well then, I will help you revive him for a good fight." Babidi goes, "Are you serious?" "Yes, I will revive him just so I watch him be destroyed by my hand." "Excellent. Now, we'll go in a few years." Cell decides to stop training because if he gets too strong, things will get boring. Besides, if things go bad, he can just train anyway. He feels himself getting closer to a new transformation, but he's scared if he reaches it, things will get too boring. He'll decide to train right before Buu is awakened so he can get that form. Meanwhile, we cut to Goku and King Kai. King Kai would say, "Goku, I have bad news." "What?" I haven't felt Cell's soul enter the afterlife. I've been talking to King Yama, and he's still alive. What? That's impossible, Goku would say. He died along with us. King Kai would say, no, he didn't. And you sacrificed my life for nothing, he yelled. That whole heroic bit you pulled, Goku, where you killed me, it was all for nothing. How does that make you feel? Goku would say, can we get back to topic? King Kai would say, fine. But, Goku, we have to warn Gohan. Goku would nod. Gohan would be sound asleep. But as he would dream, he would have visions of Cell. This being would walk closer and closer to him, with anger and fear coursing through his veins. Gohan remembered Cell. He remembered him well. It wasn't even that long ago since they fought. In these dreams, Cell would kill his mom. He would kill his little brother. He would kill everyone he cared about. Cell would torture him and murder him. He couldn't stop it. He couldn't stop it from happening. No matter what he did, no matter what he said, Cell would always destroy him, no matter how hard he trained. But one of these dreams were different. One of these dreams, Cell was golden like he was in all the others. But as he was beating up Gohan, his hair turned white, and he turned into this weird beast transformation, and he actually won. Gohan would then wake up. As he would look around, he would then hear a voice. It sounded just like his dad. Son, are you there? Dad, what is it? Goku would say, Gohan, I don't know how to tell you this, but he's alive, Cell. Gohan would be terrified. No, that's not possible. He survived the explosion. Apparently, his nucleus was able to survive, and he was able to heal from that. But he's been planning something big. He's even got a friend with him, a warlord, a warlock who can cast spells. This would shock Gohan, and Gohan would then nod. As later he would tell everyone would be shocked, but they would continue to train in case Cell would arrive. However, one day as Gohan was training in the woods, someone would land right beside him. It was Cell. Cell would walk up to him as Gohan would look and say, what do you want? Cell would say, to kill you, of course. Suddenly, Cell's body would turn completely golden as he walked towards Gohan. Gohan shook in fear as he ran towards Cell, punching him in a Super Saiyan 2 form. But it did nothing. Gohan would punch him again and again and again and again. He would fire Ki Blast, but it did nothing. Cell just slapped him and he fell to the floor. Then Cell began to pick him up and pulverize him. He punched him so hard in the stomach it broke some of his ribs. As he fell to the floor coughing up blood, Cell said, you know, you're pathetic. After I'm done with you, I'm gonna kill your mom. I'm gonna kill Piccolo. I'm gonna kill everyone who is alive that you still care about. They'll all be dead. Your first teacher, your mother, and even your baby brother. As he said this, Gohan's eyes turned red as he yelled in anger, as he yelled in pain, and he became Gohan Beast. Beast Gohan and Cell began to charge at each other, and they began to battle each other. As Golden Cell taunted him, you think white hair can defeat me? But then Gohan ripped off one of his arms. Cell regrew it, but then Gohan said, never threaten my family. Would say, no, I trained, I've gotten stronger. I cannot be defeated by Goku's brat. Do you know who I am? I am Cell, the perfect being, the perfect life form. I refuse to be defeated by you. Gohan would say, shut up and accept your fate. No, I won't. Kamehameha. Cell charged a massive Kamehameha as Gohan charged a massive Kamehameha too. Both of the beams hit and began to struggle as they pushed them back further and further and further, but eventually the beam pushed back and hit Cell, destroyed him. But then Gohan woke up. It was just another dream. But is the beast form possible? Could he awaken it? He felt something deep inside him, something that could push him towards it. Years would pass, and some even stopped training. Cell didn't do anything. Why would he wait so long? Maybe Cell isn't really back. Gohan would never forget this, however. Even though he studied and did other stuff, he still trained every once in a while. And he was always curious if he could reach this beast form. However, one day, a Supreme Kai would appear in front of Gohan. Supreme Kai Shin would look at Gohan and walk up to him saying this, look, Gohan, I've seen you've been training, and I've heard a lot about you, and I want to train you to defeat Majin Buu and even Cell. Would nod. He didn't know who this was, but he knew his real training only just began. Babidi's spaceship would land on Earth. As Vegeta and Goku were fighting each other in a tournament, suddenly they felt the power. As suddenly Cell would walk between them. Looks like I'm here for some fun. Vegeta and Goku would both look at him. Cell would say, you are allowed to come back, Goku, because of your pure heart. How kind of fortune teller Baba to bring you back, Goku. Just to die again, forever this time. He said as he began to laugh. Goku said, shut up. As Cell flew away, Goku and Vegeta began to fly after him. But they realized something. Gohan wasn't there with them, but either way, they could still feel Gohan was doing something. So as they landed, Cell walked out and said, are you ready to fight? He charged at Goku and Vegeta. As Goku and Vegeta both battled Cell, Cell was super perfect. And he's been training too. He could feel the power coursing through his veins. As Vegeta punched Cell, Cell punched back. And Vegeta got his ass handed to him. So did Goku. Cell decided to demolish them. He was destroying them, beating them up. As Goku began to bleed, he knew he had to do something. So he transformed into Super Saiyan 3. Cell walked back. What is this form? Goku says, the way to beat you. As Goku charged and punched Cell down and began to battle him, Cell and Goku then became even as they battled, but they released more and more energy. As they battled, the entire ground shook. As electricity came off their bodies, the energy could be felt everywhere. They battled further and further and further as the entire world shook and released more and more power. Eventually, although, Babidi would be able to unleash Majin Buu. As Majin Buu and Babidi walked out, Cell would look. As Goku would turn back to his base form, all his time almost ran out. Cell would then laugh and say, that's it, this is Majin Buu, a fat blob. Babidi says, how dare you talk to Buu like that? Buu, finish him! Buu would fly over to Cell and try to punch him, but he would move so fast he couldn't hit him. And then he would just punch Babidi, sending him down flying. As he picked up Babidi by the neck, he began to choke him slowly. What are you doing? Buu, save me! Cell said, Buu, if you let me do this, I'll give you tons of candy and we can have fun together. Buu would say, really, Cell? Okay. What? No, this can't be happening to me. He threw up Babidi, then blasted him into smithereens. As Cell and Majin Buu decided to have fun. Goku would continue to pant as suddenly he felt his soul being brought back to Otherworld. As Vegeta watched, he fell on the floor and collapsed. Cell walked over to Vegeta and looked down upon him. Oh, Prince Vegeta, look at you now. So defeated, so torn up. Vegeta said, shut up, he said as he began to pant. Shh, it's okay, Vegeta. I won't kill you. I'll let you watch as your family dies. I'll let you watch as the planet burns. And everything you care about is slowly destroyed. And you'll know it's all your fault. You could have stopped me, Vegeta. Back when I was a little one. Back before I became perfect. If you would have just destroyed me in my semi-perfect form, none of this would have happened. Think about that when your family's dead, he said as he walked away. Vegeta got angry, but there's nothing he can do. His bones were broken. He laid there till Piccolo gave him a senzu bean. Meanwhile, we cut to Gohan. Gohan is training to unlock the Z-Sword's power. And the Z-Sword finally broke. Oh, they were all shocked. How could the Z-Sword broke? It was supposed to be a powerful weapon, but then an Elder Kai looked at him. Gohan would say, who are you? I am Elder Kai, and I am here to complete your training. Elder Kai would then explain to him everything. He would tell him how to unlock his potential, and he would do the dance around him. Gohan felt silly watching this old man do a dance around him. He felt helpless. Everyone was out there dying, and he could just watch as this old man danced around him. Meanwhile, we cut to Majin Buu and Cell as they had fun. They played games destroying people. They turned people into volleyballs and passed them at each other. And Cell actually started to like Majin Buu, and Majin Buu really liked Cell. Cell was Majin Buu's only friend. Buu like you, Cell. I like you too, Buu, he said, as they began to laugh. However, a new fighter appeared. It was Gotenks. All right, Gotenks got to show you how it's done. Cell would say, what is this? I'm waiting for the boy to arrive, or Goku, not some little brat. You call me a brat, he said as he turned Super Saiyan 3. Cell looked at him and said, I think it's time you two fight. As Fat Boo fought Gotenks, Gotenks was winning as he was pushing Fat Boo more and more. This passed through Fat Boo as he got angrier and angrier and angrier. Eventually, he spat out Evil Boo. As Gotenks saw this, Cell punched him super strong, but Gotenks felt a power within Cell, a power he was holding back. As Gotenks hit the ground, he got up and watched Evil Boo absorb Fat Boo and become Super Boo. Cell said, Boo, you okay? Boo says, yeah, Boo's okay, friend. Want to kill them? Cell could feel Super Boo. He was much more evil, much more demonic than normal Boo. However, he still cared about Cell. Cell just nodded. As Super Boo fought Gotenks, Cell laughed as he watched. It was so entertaining. Super Boo and Gotenks would continue to battle. Gotenks was stronger, but Super Boo had regeneration and abilities which stopped him from being destroyed. It was so entertaining. Cell might as well eat popcorn as he watched, but then he had an idea. Suddenly, Cell turned gold as Super Boo and Gotenks were shocked. Then he grabbed Gotenks so tight he couldn't let him go. And he said, absorb him now! Get more power, my friend! Super Boo said, you truly are a good friend, Cell. As then he absorbed Gotenks, he could feel the power coursing through his veins. As Cell turned back to his base form, he said, once you absorb them all, you'll train, and you'll be a worthy sparring partner. You and I, we'll fight every being on this universe and eat every food. We'll have the time of our lives. Boo said, you're right about that, Cell. You and I are an unstoppable team. Nothing could stand in our way. But suddenly, Cell and Super Boo were both kicked. As Boo-Tanks got up, he looked, and he saw it was Gohan. Majin Buu would say, are you here to kill us? Gohan would say, yeah. But I realized something, Cell. You made a friend, and look, Boo, you made a friend too. You've both done awful things, but it's not too late to turn around and leave this planet. Look at Vegeta. He is a good person now, but he used to be pure evil, just like you guys. You're friends. You can stop this. But then Cell would punch Gohan, saying, no, I'm not gonna stop this. He's mine, Boo. Boo would say, fine, I understand this is personal, but I get the rest of them, and I mean all the other ones. Cell said, a deal. Gohan would say, you giving up your fun with everyone just to fight me? Looks like you really do have a grudge now, don't you? Cell would say, damn right I have a grudge. You know what you did? You humiliated me in front of everyone. You are nothing but a child, a brat. And you defeated me and made me run away. Well, I will destroy you. Gohan began to fight Cell, but Gohan was much stronger as he started to beat up Cell, pushing him back and back. And Gohan said, hatred will never beat love. Cell says, you know what, you're right. But then he turned gold and said, that's why I love myself. That's why I love being perfect. That's why I love destroying things. My love for hatred, my love for anger, my love for death, and my love for pure perfection will destroy your pathetic love for your family. As he punched Gohan so hard it made him fly straight through a mountain. As he punched him, began to bang his head into the ground again and again and again and again till it cracked. He bled as he broke both of his arms. It's over, boy. This is what you get for humiliating me. This is what you get for humiliating the perfect being. But then suddenly, a man flew down with 2 earrings. It was Vegito. As he was gonna fly to help Gohan, suddenly Super Boo punched him out of the way and said, I don't think so. Vegito then began to battle Majin Buu. As Majin Buu and Vegito battled, Vegito was whooping Majin Buu. Majin Buu couldn't take it, so he had to absorb him. That's what Vegito planned. As they tried to absorb Vegito put a protective ki bubble around him, stopping it, and they began to rip out everyone inside of Majin Buu, causing Majin Buu to revert back to his kid form. Cell was about to kill Gohan, but then he felt this, and he flew over, and he saw Kid Majin Buu. And he said, Boo, are you still in there? Kid Buu punched Cell, and then Cell got back up. Kid Buu began to beat on Cell, but it did nothing. Cell looked down and cried, and said, please, please come back. Please, I miss you. You were my only friend. As Cell cried, eventually, Kid Buu would fit out Fat Buu, and Cell would smile as he then turned gold and charged up a Kamehameha. The Kamehameha hit Kid Buu right on. As Kid Buu was pushed back and destroyed, all of his particles wiped away. Cell turned back to his base form and said, "Let's go, Buu. But what about the others? I'm going to train you, and you're going to become more powerful than just absorption. I can tell you have a potential deep within there. And this fight was fun. I had so much fun with you, and I can tell we're going to have more fun. But let's let him get stronger so we can have even more fun when we fight," Cell said. Majin Buu said, "Yes!" As Buu flew away, Cell was then charging up a Ki Blast to kill Gohan. But then Vegeta and Goku got in the way, and he said, "Fine, I'll let the brat live, but next time he's dead." And he teleports away. Vegeta would give Gohan a Senzu Bean. As he got up, he said, "I failed." "No, you didn't. You held him off long enough for us to stop Buu. And since he cares about Buu, he left with him. But next time, we'll fight with everything we have." They all nod. As we cut to a cat years later that wakes up. His name is Beerus. And he is going to mix things up quite a bit. Cut to Beerus waking up. As he wakes up, him and Whis begin to talk to each other. And Beerus tells him about a dream he had about some sort of god and a golden warrior and a pink one too. "Oh my lord, you're having all these colorful dreams. You do like pretty colors." "Shut up, Whis. I'm serious," he would say as he laid in a bath. "I just can't remember what it was called. You tell me what happened?" "Well, certainly." Whis pulls out his staff and says, "Well, Frieza was killed." "Frieza was killed? Who killed him?" "Goku." However, Goku was killed himself. He was brought back to life, however, with Dragon Balls. Dragon Balls, you say, Beerus would say. "Interesting. So, is he the most powerful in the universe?" "No, Cell is." Beerus would say, "Who is Cell?" As we cut to Cell, he is training with Majin Buu and eating candy. Majin Buu says, "That's some good candy," as Majin Buu is actually fit and Cell's been keeping training him. Anytime he fell asleep, he would wait for him to wake up and train again. Even when he gets fat again, he still has unlocked massive potential. Cell would say, "Yeah, you're even near my strength now, Buu." "Buu is strong!" Cell would laugh and say, "Soon we can destroy the Z Fighters once and for all." Suddenly, we cut back to Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta are training heavily in the gravity chamber, trying to become stronger, trying to become better, and they know that any second, any day, that Cell could come back. As this is going on, Whis watches them both through his staff. As Beerus says, "Well, that's it. The Golden Warrior was Cell." "Are you certain, my lord?" "Yes, I am certain. Head a course straight to Cell." Beast would then pack up and get ready to travel. As Beast and Beerus traveled, Beerus would begin to eat as he rode on Whis' back. "You really couldn't wait to eat, my lord." "Shush now. I've been asleep for so long. Besides, some food will always catch my memory." "I'm excited. How strong do you think this person is?" "I don't know, Lord, but they are extremely powerful. They're made up of Frieza's DNA." "Really?" "Yes, and all the Saiyans. Cell was a bio-android created with one purpose, defeating and killing Goku. However, he really didn't want to do that, and instead has made his own path in life. Very interesting." Whis and Beerus would land on Cell's planet. As Majin Buu would begin to shake in horror, he could sense God Ki. He could sense how powerful Beerus has become. Cell would say, "What is it?" Majin Buu would then say this, "Cell, this power, I've never felt anything like it before. It's extraordinary. It's amazing. It's more than anything ever. We might have to run." Cell looked at him and said, "Are you sure?" Majin Buu nodded. As Beerus began to walk towards him, they both got ready to fight, but Beerus said, Nah. I'm here looking for a golden warrior. You're that golden warrior, aren't you, Cell?" Cell said, "How do you know about my form?" "I know a lot of things as a god of destruction." Cell would then say, "A god of destruction?" Beerus thought he would be scared, but then all of a sudden he smirked, and he started to jump up and down excited. Beerus would say, "Have you gone mad?" "No. My entire life I wanted a worthy fighter. Majin Buu definitely filled that role well, and he's my best friend, but you are something more. You're someone so powerful I can never surpass. That excites me," he says, as he would turn gold. Suddenly, Beerus would smirk, as Golden Cell would punch Beerus, send him flying. They would both begin the battle in space. Then Majin Buu would appear. As Beerus battled both of them, "Not bad, let's see what you really got." Cell and Beerus would then battle with everything they had. As they fought up in space, The entire universe shook. Their waves of energy was released everywhere. Suddenly, Majin Buu would turn Beerus into candy, as they thought they won, but suddenly a chocolate bar would fly up and kick Buu so hard it would land him back on the planet. As then he turned back to his base form. "What the hell was that?" Beerus said. Cell would say, "That's one of his techniques, you like it?" "No, I don't." Cell would then laugh and say, "Well, you're getting your butt handed to you. Even if you're a destroyer, you're not." But suddenly, Beerus would appear behind him and say, "Never underestimate me. I've been going easy on you." As then he showed 100% of his power for 1 second and merely flicked Cell. It was so strong, it ripped off one of his arms. As he hit the floor back on the planet, he regrew it, and him and Majin Buu got up and began to continue battling Beerus. Beerus would teleport right in front of him. Majin Buu would try to absorb him by throwing out some of his body, but as soon as it grabbed on Beerus, he yelled and it evaporated. The little part of Buu's body that touched him turned to ash, as Majin Buu then got punched so hard he passed out instantly. Beerus walked up to him, as then Cell tried to absorb him with his tail, but Beerus grabbed it and ripped it off, snapping it. Cell cried out in anger and pain as he regrew it, but then Beerus pulled out an Akai straight to his face and said this is real power, Cell. This is the type of power of Destroyer, a type of power you can never get. You know what you are, Cell? You're a hood rat. You're a person that goes around destroying planets for fun. I do it as a job. You're nothing. At least Frieza had a job, but you, Cell, you know what you are? You're nothing but a parasite who feeds off the planets. And so is your friend. You're worthless. And if you ever try to absorb me again, I'll erase you. But it was fun fighting you, he says as he smirks. Fight you again sometime. As he flies away, Cell got up and he was irritated. Gohan already humiliated him once, but he got his payback, even if he didn't kill him. But Beerus humiliated him, he will kill Beerus one day. He doesn't know how, he doesn't know when, but he will surpass Beerus. Meanwhile, Vegeta and Goku are on Earth celebrating Bulma's birthday, when suddenly Beerus would appear. Vegeta would see this and begin to shake, as memories of Beerus appeared in his mind back when he was a kid. Beerus would walk up to him and say, "Ah, Vegeta. I remember you. Has anyone here heard of a Super Saiyan God?" He would say. He would also ask where's Goku, but he's off training on King Kai's world. King Kai's world? That's so far away. Tell him to get his butt over here. But for now, I think I'll fight you, Vegeta. Me? Yeah, Vegeta showed off Super Saiyan 2, and even though he was extremely powerful, he was no match for Cell himself. Beerus would wait for Goku to arrive, and when he arrived, he said finally. He would then fight Goku, but something would happen. He didn't feel anything. Was his dream wrong? Was there only a golden warrior and a pink man? Was there no Super Saiyan God? No, that's not possible. Beerus would, however, enjoy some food. Goku had an idea of summoning the dragon, and the dragon told him about the ritual. They would then perform the ritual on Goku, as he became a Super Saiyan God. This excited Beerus. As Beerus and Goku began to battle, everyone watched in amazement. And Beerus actually had a good time as they battled, but no one knew that Beerus fought Cell, and Cell was far more powerful. We cut back to Cell and Majin Buu. They really don't know what to do, but Cell has an idea. Beerus said we didn't have a job, that we destroy without a purpose, so why not join the Frieza Force, if they're still alive? Cell would search for power levels, teleporting to teleportly. He would then teleport right in front of Sorbet. Sorbet what was left of the Frieza Force. He was their leader. As he ordered Togema to battle him, Togema threw a punch, but Cell just dodged it and kicked him down to the floor and said, "I'm now the new leader of the Frieza Force, or what's left of it. I assume you're the Frieza Force. You look like them, and you're a bunch of power levels that look like you're trying to conquer. Well, I shouldn't say conquer, maintain what's left." Cell would say, disgusted. Sorbet would say, "Yeah, but you're not the leader of the..." But then Cell would just lift his finger and blow off his head. As they would look and nod, Cell would then leader what's left of the Frieza Force. They would say, "What's our new orders, boss? Your new orders is to follow me. I am going to take back each planet we lost properly and rebuild the Frieza Force and make them into the ones they once were. Then I'll bring back Frieza so he can lead it." Buu would say, "Why not just lead it yourself? Leading's boring. I just want to fight. Besides, if I have this much potential, maybe Frieza does. As much as I hate to admit it, Having another ally would be useful. Not like we could trust him, but we need as many hands on deck as possible if we want to get revenge on Beerus. Majin Buu would then nod, as Cell would then rebuild the Frieza Force and make them stronger and greater, and make them even better than what they once were. As then we cut back to Goku and Beerus. As they continue the battle, the universe shakes, and Goku says, "Wow, this is really fun. Yeah, too bad you're nothing compared to Cell." He would look up and say, "I know, that golden form was amazing. I thought maybe now I could compete with him, but no." Beerus would say, "Don't worry. When this is over, I'll take you to my planet to train." "Really? Why not do that to Cell?" Goku would say, "Why are you taking me and Vegeta and not Cell and Buu?" Beerus would say this, "As much as I hate to admit it, they're a threat to me, and I need you two to be rivals so you could stop them if they rise up. But aren't you stronger than them?" "Yes, I am. But destroying them will be boring. Besides, it'll be a test to see if you're worthy of my teachings. But if you fail to destroy them, then you won't be worthy. Now let's get some food." Goku would nod as they go to the planet, and Beerus begins to eat, as he tells Vegeta and Goku to get ready because they're going to Beerus' world. They're excited as they line up to go to Beerus' planet. Cell and Majin Buu would go to Earth and hide their power levels. As they did this, they found Pilaf, who already gathered the Dragon Balls. Pilaf was about to make his wish, but then Cell said, "Hand it over." It's Cell, the man who announced the world tournament." Yes, it's me, in all my perfect glory, I know. Now give me the damn Dragon Balls before I kill you." Pilaf shook in fear as he gave him the Dragon Balls. They then summoned the dragon, as they wished for Frieza to come back to life. They can make more wishes. Cell and Majin Buu thought about making more wishes, but then suddenly Pilaf gang wasted the 2 wishes. Cell could kill them, but honestly, all he wanted was Frieza to come back, so he didn't really care. So, Cell and Majin Buu left with Frieza. Frieza would eventually come back together, but as he walked out, he saw 2 strange beings. "Who are you?" "I am Majin Buu." "You're the Majin Buu," Frieza said, "and I'm Cell. We brought you back so we can work together to kill Son Goku." Frieza saw this, and once he heard these words, he smirked. "Hey, but on one condition, I am the one who gets to kill Son Goku." Cell begins to laugh, said, "Sure, I don't really care. Then why are you doing this?" "I need Son Goku to die so Gohan, his son, can get angrier and get stronger so I can fight him at his best. That is what this is about, me fighting a worthy opponent." Frieza looked at him and said, "You sound just like a monkey saying that." "Why, I do have some monkey DNA in me." "What do you mean?" Cell tells him that he's made up of all their DNA. Frieza is interested by this, and Frieza and Cell begin to train. Cell would then destroy Frieza and rebuild him again and again and again, causing him to go through tough and horrific training, way more intense than on our timeline, which would push him even further than our timeline, making him become stronger, making him become better, and making him increase his power level. Meanwhile, we cut to Goku and Vegeta. They are training, but they feel something is off. They just have this weird feeling. Vegeta says, "What is it, Kakarot? You feel that too?" "Yeah, I just don't know what it is." But both nod as they felt a key throughout the universe suddenly spring up and then go down, like it was training intensely. They didn't know who or what it could be. For a little while they felt it, and it felt familiar, but it wasn't there long enough for them to realize or recognize who it was from. So they decided to continue training, to continue getting stronger, and to continue getting better. As they continue training and getting stronger, we cut back to Gohan. Gohan is studying, but suddenly he feels power levels. He feels Cell coming and Frieza. That can't be. Frieza can't be back. Suddenly, Piccolo goes through his window and says, "Boy, have you been keeping up with your training?" "Not really." "That's disappointing." "Well, I've been keeping up for years, but then I just kind of fell behind with the whole college professor thing." Piccolo would sigh and say, "Come with us." Gohan and the rest of the Z Fighters would prepare and sit down, waiting for Cell and the rest to arrive. Frieza's spaceship would then arrive, and everyone was shocked. How could Frieza have gotten so much stronger, and Cell and Majin Buu? Their energy still felt like monsters, but they were even stronger too. All 3 of them walked out. As Frieza asked, "Where is Goku?" "He's training on Beerus' planet." Frieza was shocked. "Lord Beerus is training him?" But then he got back his composure. "I see. Then he'll be even more of a threat. Oh well, I'm sure I could still take down a monkey." Even if he is learning from a god of monkeys is still no match for me. As they all got ready to fight, Cell had an idea. He said, "Hey, do you remember these guys?" Suddenly, his tail started to grow bigger as he shot out Cell Jr. after Cell Jr. Cell Jr.'s would all get up and begin to make weird noises. As Krillin shook, it said, "Not these guys again." The Cell Jr.'s charged at all of them. As Krillin battled, the Cell Jr. began to beat him up. And Tien fought, and they began to beat him up too. Master Roshi went into his buff form, but it wasn't enough. Piccolo was able to keep up, but he wasn't able to defeat the Cell Jr. All the Cell Juniors continued to beat up on the Z Fighters. They were no match. Cell continued to watch. "Come on, Gohan, tap into that power like you did all those years ago. Or are you gonna watch your friends die?" Gohan got angry as he tapped further into his power and destroyed all the Cell Juniors in an instant. As then he walked up to Cell and said, "I'm not gonna let you do this, Cell." As he powered up and charged straight at Cell, but then Cell, in instant transmission in front of him, kicked him down to the floor and began to beat him up mercilessly. "You think you have something, boy? You dropped off. You had the potential to rival me, but you lost everything because you're a worthless wimp who thought it wasn't necessary to train. You're too reliant on your father. You're a disappointment," Cell would say. As they continued to battle, this released more and more energy. Goku was sensing for energy, trying to go back, but eventually he found it and teleported. But when he teleported back, Gohan was on the floor, barely breathing. Goku would see this and throw Gohan a Senzu Bean, and as he ate it, suddenly Frieza walked towards him. Oh, the monkey has finally arrived," Frieza said, smirking. Cell said, "Don't underestimate Vegeta. He's just as powerful as he is." Frieza said, "Really? I'll keep that in mind. Now, shall we fight?" Goku would say, "Why are you back, Frieza? Just to die again?" "No, I'm back to kill you." As he turned gold, then Goku turned blue. As they both continued the battle, the entire planet shook. As Vegeta looked up, but then suddenly, Majin Buu walked up to Vegeta and said, "Let me test out that blue power." As Vegeta turned blue, Majin Buu went into Kaioken and began to fight Vegeta. Even though Majin Buu didn't have any godly forms, they've been training and using their potential, and they're extremely powerful. Cell simply looked up and continued to watch them battle. As they all looked, Piccolo said, "What's wrong? You're not gonna help your friends?" "Nah, I think they got this. Besides, it's an entertaining show, don't you think?" Battle would continue as Majin Buu tried to turn Vegeta into candy, but Vegeta would dodge and simply punch him to the ground. Vegeta slightly had the edge, but Majin Buu had far better techniques. They both continued to battle each other, pushing each other further and further. As this happened, Frieza and Goku continued to fight. Frieza said, Earth could make a great slave planet. My empire doesn't really have slaves, but I'd love to enslave your friends and torture them forever for standing up against me." Frieza doesn't even mean what he's saying. He's just trying to get under Goku's nerves, and Goku knows it as he laughs. "Oh, Frieza, you think I can't see you're trying to get under my nerves to make me lose balance? I must say, though, this is a pretty good fight. You have a lot of potential. Too bad it's wasted. If you're a good guy, you could... A goody two-shoes. Aw, a great monkey wants me to turn away my evil ways, but I think I'll pass," Frieza said. As Goku and Frieza continued the battle, pushing each other further and further and further, but Frieza was slightly stronger, and he used the edge. Cell made him a great martial artist, as he continued to blast death beam after death beam into Goku's shoulders, and continued to torture him as he started to get the other hand. Vegeta realized this, and continued to fly towards Goku, but then Majin Buu got in the way and said, "You don't do anything!" Gohan saw this in horror, and Cell said, "That's right, Gohan, give in to your anger, tap deep within that power." "What are you talking about, Cell? Isn't it obvious? I want your dad to die so you unlock a new form. I can tell there's something hidden deep inside you, so then I can fight you at your best and destroy you." Gohan would yell, "You're insane, Cell! How could you do such a thing? You know this is gonna kill you, right? If I even do have a new form, I'll just slaughter you." Cell says, "Aw, you're so cute, but watch this." "Frieza, I think it's time." Frieza then suddenly unleashed an Emperor's Death Beam. Goku tried to dodge it, but he couldn't, as Death Beam after Death Beam after Death Beam hit Goku. Eventually, he fell to the floor lifeless. Vegeta and Majin Buu stopped fighting, as they jumped down and began to look at it. He saw his dad's lifeless body. He began to scream in anger. He began to scream in pain. He began to scream in agony. As suddenly his hair turned white, and he went Gohan Beast, just like in the dreams. Cell was excited as he suddenly said, Kaioken times 10, and punched Gohan, sending him flying. He laughed, said, I managed to combine Kaioken with my golden form, but I needed a new form to test it out on. Let's go, Gohan, you and me. Let's battle and push each other with everything we have. Gohan got up and said, I'm not gonna fight you, Cell. I'm gonna kill you! As they charged, each punch sent shockwaves throughout the planet. Cell had the advantage when he used his Kaioken. However, normally, Beast Gohan was stronger. It was very similar to the Goku-Vegeta fight. However, Gohan had anger, Gohan had rage, and he kept pushing Cell further and further back. Eventually, Cell was running out of stamina. Even though he was able to use it a lot with his regeneration, it still used up stamina. Gohan started to push him further and further back, as Gohan said, I'm gonna kill you for what you did, Cell. You're nothing but an imbecile who lets his bloodlust lead him to death. Cell then chuckled as he instant transmission straight to Frieza and Majin Buu, grabbing their hands, saying, I had a good time, Gohan. I really did, but next time we meet, it'll be your demise. Oh, by the way, don't worry. I know you miss your dad, so I'll make sure you see him in hell real soon, as he teleports away. Frieza would look up at Cell saying, what was that? We could team up on him. I know, but besides, I want to unlock a greater power. I can tell there's something more inside of me, and that is his greatest potential, trust me. This is the form I must surpass to unleash my godlike. We cut to Vegeta training on Beerus' planet. Beerus said, are you sure you want to do this? Yes. I know I can push myself. I know I can become greater, and I know I could become stronger. I feel it inside me. I will destroy Majin Buu, and Gohan will avenge his father. Beerus says, whatever. You mortals knock yourself out. Vegeta says, why didn't you get involved? Didn't you help train Goku? I didn't train him, Whis did. And besides, Cell keeps me entertained. And I want you guys to destroy him. It will be a fun battle to watch. I've been so bored for eons. You gotta give me some entertainment, he would say, smiling as he was eating pizza. But then suddenly a crash was heard as the planet began to shook. Vegeta said, is that Cell? No, it's my brother. Champa would begin to smirk as he walked up to Beerus and said, I have a proposition for you, brother. What's that? Try this, as he threw Beerus an egg. Beerus ate it, and he said, this is the food of the 6th universe! Beerus just began to laugh, as then he showed him the food of the 7th universe. And Champa ate it. He said, now I know what my wish is gonna be. To steal your planet Earth. Really? Yes, but I want to compete for you for the last Dragon Ball, since we had an argument. How about a tournament? A tournament, you say? Beerus would actually be intrigued by the idea of a tournament. After all, he did enjoy watching fighting, and martial arts in general. Also, if he wins, he could wish for anything he wanted. He didn't really know what he wanted, but it was still a good perk, so he agreed, and the tournament began. Champa flew off. Vegeta said, who are we gonna get for the tournament? We need to get Frieza, Cell, but then Vegeta stopped him. Oh no, Gohan will not fight with... But then he started to charge a ki blast and say, I don't care what he wants. Tell him that he has to fight with them. Vegeta said, you know, Beerus, Cell and his friends already hate you, and you're alienating me and Gohan and the Z Fighters. If you keep alienating us like this, you'll have no friends, and when the time comes when they attack you, we won't be there to you. Beerus yells and says, I don't need your help. Do you know who I am? I am Beerus, a god of destruction. Vegeta thought back to how Frieza thought he could handle them by himself. How Cell thought he could handle him by himself. And then he got friends. Cell was different. He wised up. He knew he needed allies, but Beerus wouldn't learn that lesson. Vegeta just nodded his head and said yes. As Vegeta went off to go get Gohan, Beerus and Whis would decide to travel to go get Cell. Would be training with Frieza and Majin Buu, when suddenly Beerus would appear. They would all look, and Cell would say, are you here to kill me? No. You didn't piss me off enough for me to do that yet. However, I am here for you to get to this tournament. You really don't have a choice. Now come along, Beerus would say, as Cell and Buu were excited, but Frieza was kind of annoyed. He wanted to get stronger so he can destroy Vegeta, that other monkey, and conquer Earth, and become strong enough maybe he could betray Cell and Boo. But Cell and Boo aren't really in the way, and they really don't want political power, they just want to have a good fight. So it's easy to manipulate them, but for how long can he keep that up? He really didn't know, but I guess it didn't matter. Cell, Majin Buu, and Frieza, Vegeta, and Gohan would all arrive at the tournament. Gohan would look at Cell, pissed off, and Cell would simply smirk. Suddenly, Cobb would walk up to Gohan and say, "You're a Saiyan, right?" Gohan would simply look down and nod, as Kaba said, "Wow, that's pretty cool." And they would start to talk about his history. Gohan would open up a bit. He was still angered that Cell was here, but he would still talk. Kaba, not really knowing Gohan, would just assume he's a quiet person, but he seemed interesting. As they talked, eventually, though, the tournament would begin, and the first match was Cell versus Botamu. As Botamu walked out against him, he said, "Your energy, it feels so different. It feels like a amalgamation of so many other beings. You must be an android. That's really unique. I didn't know Universe 7 had androids. The only one of my kind. I am perfect," Cell would say. Botamu would say, "Perfect for a beating." As the battle began, Cell threw a punch, but Botamu just absorbed it. And then he started to laugh, and then Cell just smirked, "Is that all you got? What? Ki absorption isn't really that unique, honestly. I would have thought you had a bigger technique than that, seeing all your talk." Botamu would say, "Shut up," as then he tried to punch Cell, but Cell would just dodge it and grab him and begin to drag him. Botamu would blast Ki blast after Ki blast, but he just dragged him. "Look, everyone, I'm dragging the big fat bear. You're so fat, I can just drag you off your feet." Oh my god, Botamu, you are such a disappointment for a fighter. All you are is a fat person who absorbs punches. "Shut up," Botamu would say, but then Cell would just throw him off the edge as Cell was declared the winner. The next match would be Frost versus Cell. As Cell walked up, he looked at Frost and he said, "You might as well transform to your final form." "What?" Then he points up at Frieza as Frieza smirks and he says, "He showed me all of your forms. I know every single form you have, so go straight into the one." Frost would say fine as he transformed to his final form, and everyone was shocked that Frost could transform, and him and Cell both began to battle, but Cell had the upper hand. However, Cell was enjoying himself, and since he had Frieza's DNA in him, he was intrigued about Frost, so he didn't straight up torture him. Suddenly, Cell would feel a sharp pain, but then he would start to laugh as Frost looked confused. "You know I'm immune to that stuff, right?" Frost would then be terrified as he walked back. Cell said, "I was going easy on you since one of my friends is your race, but now, since you want to play dirty, I'll play dirty too." As suddenly he turned gold, everyone in the stage was astonished. Cell could do that? He had simply acknowledged he might be a threat. As suddenly Cell punched Frost so hard his arm broke and then began to beat him up, torturing him. Everyone was shocked, and Cell said, "This is what you get for cheating. Never mess with me, the perfect life form." As then, he simply kicked Frost out of the ring. As he fell onto the floor, the match was called, and Cell was the winner. However, after that, it was him versus Kaba. Kaba would walk up to the ring and say, "Well, you seem pretty strong. Is it true you're an android? How does that work? I was made up the DNA of Saiyans, Frost demons, which is your race's Frost, and many other. I am the perfect being." They then began to battle. "Now show me Super Saiyan." "Super what now?" Cell would say, "You don't know what Super Saiyan is?" "No, sorry." Cell then had an idea as he picked up Kaba by the neck and began to choke him. This shocked everyone. Then he grabbed him by the tail and choked him with his tail. As the life began to lose his body, Cell simply said, "Oh, look at poor Kaba being choked out. Well, after I kill you, I'm gonna kill your family. I'm gonna kill everyone you love and hold dear. And I'm gonna watch as they scream out in pain, knowing you could have done something. I'm gonna make you watch. I'm gonna make you look as I murder your mom and dad." Suddenly, Kaba got mad and said, "Don't you talk about my family!" as he transformed to a Super Saiyan. But then he began to battle Cell. As Cell laughed, saying just as planned, Kaba went, "Oh, so you wanted me to turn to a Super Saiyan. So that evil thing was just an act." Cell said, "I wouldn't go around killing people for no reason, but I wouldn't say I'm a good person, he said, as he turned gold and punched Kappa so hard it broke his arm, then punched him out of the ring. As he turned back to his base form, it was over, and the next match was Cell versus Magetta. Magetta, the giant robot, would appear. As Magetta looked down straight at Cell, Magetta then powered up his ki and then shot Lava Blast straight at him, but it did nothing, as Cell merely dodged around and began to toy with him. Since there was no stage broken, there was no advantage for Magetta, and Magetta just was outclassed in every single step of the way. Cell just brutalized Magetta and threw him out. The next match was Hit versus Cell. Cell was saying, well, I might as well just won the whole tournament. You might as well just jump out. Is what I would say if I was arrogant, because I know you're hiding something, Hit. Hit says, how perceptive. As suddenly a time skip appears, and he hits Cell, sending him flying back. Cell turns gold, but then Hit does a time skip after time skip after time skip. These time skips push back Cell more and more and more, and Cell had an ace up his sleeve. He learned how to combine the Kaioken with his golden form. However, he could use that against Hit, but that would reveal it to Gohan. And he didn't want Gohan to know he had this ace up his sleeve. He wanted Gohan to get too cocky. So, he decided to just jump off the ring. He looked at Hit and said, well, good fight. Gohan, your turn, as he jumped off the ring, mirroring what Goku did so long ago. Hit was shocked. He just forfeited. He never expected someone so proud to do that. Cell was unlike any person he fought before. As he walked out, it was now time for Gohan to fight Hit. Gohan turned beast. As Hit used his time skips, it did nothing against Gohan. Hit would even increase it, but it did nothing. As Gohan Beast would charge at Hit and begin to punch him, sending him flying back more and more and more as they both began to battle. However, Hit would build up time energy every time they fought. Every time they hit each other, Hit would build up more and more time energy until it would be enough to trap Gohan. As Hit would trap Gohan, he would say this, "It's over, Gohan." Gohan would say, "No, it's not over." He would yell as the time barrier broke, and suddenly he knocked Hit off the edge as Gohan Beast won. Cell was shocked. Even if he pushed his Kaioken to 100, could it even stand up against Gohan? Even then, it'll be a short fix. He needed a permanent form, a form to stand up to Beast. He needed it fast before Gohan could evolve Beast somehow. But then the Omni King showed, and Beerus and Champa bowed to the Omni King. After that, the Omni King promised to have a tournament and left. Trunks would appear inside of the normal timeline. Suddenly, as Gohan went to greet him, Trunks pulled out his swords and started to swing it violently. He turned Super Saiyan. "I'm not gonna let you destroy this planet!" But then Gohan simply punched him, sending him down, and saying, "What are you talking about, Trunks? Why would I destroy this planet?" Trunks got up and said, "I'm sorry, So it is the real you. I just had to check." He transformed back. Gohan said, "What is going on? In my future, there's someone who looks just like you. We call him Gohan Black." "What?" Gohan said, shocked. Trunks would then explain it to the others what happened, but as he was explaining it, suddenly a portal would open, and Gohan Black would fly out. As Gohan Black began to look at all of them, he simply smirked, saying, well, well, well. Isn't it the pathetic mortals? I'll have fun slaughtering you." Then he looked at Beerus. As Beerus looked up at him and said, "You see something you like?" He just scoffed. As Gohan Black was about to fight, suddenly Gohan went up, and he said, "Well, isn't it Gohan? This will be interesting." Gohan and Gohan Black both began to battle. Gohan went Super Saiyan, but Gohan Black was even able to keep up with it. But eventually he turned Beast and began to demolish Gohan Black. He said, "I'm not going to let you live for after what you've done. I was too merciful with Cell, and he got away. I'm not going to make that mistake again." He punches him to the ground. As Gohan hits the ground so hard, some of his arms break. Gohan Black looks up as he begins to get beat up, torn limb from limb. Gohan simply turns to Ki Blast, says goodbye, but then he gets sucked through the portal, and he says, "No, no, no!" But as he was getting sucked through, he blew up the time machine. Trunks was stuck here until they can build a new one. Beerus said, "Who was that?" "Oh, it's Gohan Black." They explain everything, and Beerus says, "Time travel, you know that's very illegal. I should erase you right now, but since I'm so merciful, I won't." Whis says by merciful, he means lazy. "Shut up, Whis. Anyway, couldn't you feel that? His energy was similar to someone I've met before." Whis said, "So you caught it too, Lord Beerus? It's similar to Zamasu's. I should check that out." Beerus and Whis and Gohan go to check that out, as Vegeta stays home with Trunks and begins to train him, and they catch up about lost time. As all this going on, we cut to Cell. Cell could feel God Ki now. He could feel that Beerus was moving away, but why? He just left. Did he leave their universe? Why did he do that? He was confused. He was hoping it wasn't a scheme against him. But if he really wanted to, he could just erase him, so why would he scheme against him? Cell decided he would fly to Earth and lower his power level to check that out. We cut back to Gohan as he travels to Zamasu's world. Zamasu would look up and see the mortal in disgust. He couldn't believe a mortal would defile his planet by entering it. As things were going on, Gowasu and Beerus began to talk, as eventually Zamasu and Gohan went into Spartan match. Zamasu went after Gohan his full power, but Gohan turned beast and punched him so hard it knocked him out. As he turned back, Beerus said, "Be careful, he's a Supreme Kai." Gohan said, "I used to be merciful with my blows, but now I realize something. Mercy's for the weak," he would say as he walked back. Gohan wasn't evil, not by a long shot, but he realized that he was too merciful with Cell, and it got his father killed, and he needed to be more serious. As Zamasu laid there knocked out, eventually he would wake up and they would explain what happened. As they left, Zamasu was angered, but it lit some sort of fire inside of him, some sort of fire to revenge and to kill all mortals. As that was going on, we cut to Piccolo. Piccolo had no idea what he was doing. Piccolo felt lost. No matter how hard he trained, he couldn't keep up with the others, but then he had an idea to unlock his potential. He got the Dragon Balls, and he wished for his potential to be unlocked, as suddenly he turned yellow. Gohan would arrive and sense Piccolo's power. "Well, that's some power, Piccolo." He would actually smile. Gohan hasn't smiled since his father died. He was proud to see Piccolo found a way to keep up. Piccolo and Gohan would continue to talk. As Bulma came out with a new time machine, Trunks, Piccolo, and Vegeta all squeezed in and barely fit in, and then traveled through time. Cell would watch this, however, with Frieza, wanting to know what the hell was going on. He knew about the time machine, but he wondered if he can go back. As they all traveled back, they were ready to kill Gohan Black. Gohan Black flew down, as Gohan looked at him and turned to beast. "It's over, Gohan Black." But Gohan Black simply said no, as he turned Rosé and punched Beast down to the floor. Beast Gohan would be in pain as he looked up at Rosé Gohan and said, "How did you achieve this power?" "Simple. I realized something. Saiyans use anger. It's so barbaric. However, even though it's barbaric and unbefitting of a god, I must do what I have to wipe out all mortals in the universe. And I knew for a fact if I could tap into the anger, it can grant me even greater power." Gohan Black fought Beast Gohan, but he was tearing him apart. Piccolo charged a special beam cannon to launch it, but suddenly Zamasu jumped in front of the way, taking it on and healing. Piccolo was like, "Zamasu, that's right, and I'm immortal. But how is this possible? What is going on?" He would point out Gohan Black. "So you made a copy?" No, I'm the real thing. You see, then Zamasu would explain everything. As suddenly Vegeta would rush in to help Gohan Beast, but Gohan Black would tear him apart and say, "You're nothing, Vegeta, but an appetizer," pushing him down to the floor. This would make Vegeta mad, and Vegeta knew that he had to tap into more power. And as all this was going on, they were both getting beat up. And then Zamasu started to talk to Trunks. "Oh, Trunks, oh, Trunks, oh, Trunks, you know this is your fault, right? I looked at all the timelines, and I saw a universe that was created through you messing with time. If that never happened, we'd never go on a rampage. You could consider yourself lucky. You're the reason all these universes will be cleansed." Trunks would get angrier and angrier and angrier till his hair turned yellow and his eyes turned pure white. And he said this, "It's not my fault you're doing this. It's not my fault you're a psychopath. It's not my fault you want to genocide innocent people." As he turned into his rage form, he punched Gohan Rosé and distracted him. As Piccolo got up and dragged Gohan and Vegeta back into the time machine and then went back in time. As they appeared outward, suddenly they saw Cell. They both got up their guard and said, "Calm down. I'm here to help. I heard about this Gohan Black and I figured he could be a good fighter. Besides, don't you need a little help?" Cell would say. Frieza would also be there and say, "I'm just watching. I want to see how strong you guys have gotten. Besides, if I got involved, it would end too easily." Gohan say, "We don't need," but then Piccolo stopped him. Gohan, you know Cell loves a good fight. Besides, as much as I hate to admit it, we can't turn down any help. Alright, you can help, but Frieza, you're not allowed to come. Frieza didn't sighs and says, whatever. As suddenly, they would have to think of a way to get rid of Zamasu. Piccolo then had an idea. As he traveled to Master Roshi, he said, do you still have the Mafuba? Master Roshi looked at him and said, yeah, but why would you need that? There's an opponent that's immortal. We need to trap them. Master Roshi nodded. As Piccolo got the Mafuba, Cell and Gohan were both waiting. As Piccolo came back, they were ready. But before they traveled back, they had an idea. They should probably investigate Zamasu. So they decided to send someone out there to investigate, which was Frieza. They sent him with Beerus and Whis, since they needed him to do something so he wasn't doing anything evil. Frieza's like, fine, fine. As he went off with Beerus and Whis, suddenly Piccolo, Gohan, and Vegeta would go back into the time machine and travel back. As they went out, they saw the city in ruin. They saw Trunks barely breathing on the floor. Suddenly, Gohan, Black, and Zamasu both appeared and said, are you ready to die? Cell, Vegeta, and Gohan all charged at Gohan Black, pushing him back. Gohan Black was able to keep up with all of them, but for some reason, Piccolo didn't charge at him. Piccolo went to Zamasu, as Zamasu smirked, saying, you think you found a way to kill you? No, not kill you, trap you forever. As suddenly, he performed the Mafuba. Zamasu yelled, no, 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 as he was trapped forever. Gohan Black saw this, and he flew in to free him, but then Piccolo got in the way as they both began to battle. Gohan Black did a Black Kamehameha, launching them all back, and he began to beat up Piccolo, saying, you're nothing but a worthless creature. You might as well be a slug, because you'll never catch up. Piccolo said, shut up, as he turned orange. And Vegeta saw this and began to yell in anger, began to yell in pride. He said, I will not let a Namekian surpass me. I will not let you all stay ahead. As he turned a blue evolution, then Cell used his Kaioken in his golden form, and Gohan turned into his beast form. As they all began to charge a Ki Blast, Gohan Black saw this as he started to charge a Black Kamehameha. Piccolo fires a Masenko, Vegeta fires a Big Bang, and Gohan fires a Kamehameha. It both hits, everything hits, as Cell charges a Kamehameha, but Gohan Black is pushing it back further and further and further, but then Cell says, well, I was hoping I wouldn't have to whip it out, but here it goes. Kaioken times 30! As suddenly the Ki Blast went back in Gohan Black's face, hitting him and erasing him as they won. We cut back to Frieza. As Zamasu kills Gowasu, was back in time a bit, as suddenly Zambasu's about to cut off Gowasu's head, but then Frieza's tail grabs him by the neck and pulls him up, and they show that he was going to kill him. Gowasu said, what is the meaning of this? Zamasu says, to wipe out all mortals, to engage my perfect plan. Frieza laughs and says, well, yeah, Cell unlocked a new form, and he killed you in the future. And it's over, Zamasu. We saw what you did in the future. We saw all the evil and destruction you caused. And do I really care? No. But I want to rule this universe, and I can't do that if you destroy it now, can I? Frieza said, as he then began to pummel Zamasu, torturing him, blasting Ki Blast after Ki Blast into his ribs, into his legs, into his arms, then dropped him to the floor. Beerus, you can do the honors. Beerus picked up Zamasu's Hidakai, erasing him. Goku Black and Zamasu were defeated in both timelines. Let's get to it. Cut to Beerus, who was sitting down with Whis, eating some ramen, when suddenly Whis' staff rings. As Whis picks it up, it's the Omni King. Beerus bows, says, what is it? The Omni King says, I forgot a long time about that tournament thing I promised, but I decided to bring it up. I want a tournament between all the other universes. Beerus would nod, and Zeno says, oh, if you lose, you go bye-bye. As he then hanged up. As Beerus was shaken in fear, if we lose, our entire universe will be wiped out. We need to get a team. Pronto. Beerus and Whis would then travel to Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu. Majin Buu was training and even unlocked the Kaioken. As Cell could tell, there was a new form, but he needed something to push him towards it. He needed something to help him unlock it. But suddenly, Beerus would appear. Cell would go, oh, Beerus, why are you... Beerus said, cut the chit-chat. We're having a tournament, and you have to join. Beerus said, lifting up his hand, ready to erase him if he says no. Cell said, fine. I like tournaments anyway. I don't know why you had to threaten me. Beerus said, insurance. As in, Beerus flew down to Earth. As he landed, he brought Cell, Majin Buu, and Frieza. Gohan would look up and say, what the hell is this? But then, Beerus would say, shut up! This is no time for your stupid grudges. Do you understand me? We are gonna have a tournament. If we lose, our universe will be wiped out. Gohan was shocked. Everyone else was. They nodded. As the team was Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, Majin Buu, Frieza, and Cell, and a few others. However, they needed an ace up their sleeve, so they got the Dragon Balls and wished who would be the best for the tournament. And where to find him. Shenron told him about Broly. Broly was a man of great potential, but he was trapped on Vampa. If they freed him, he would most likely fight in the tournament. They were all excited, so as the dragon separated, they went off to get Broly. Gohan would be sent off to get him, meanwhile Cell would stay there. They also decided to bring back Goku. As Fortune Teller Baba brought back Goku, Broly also was brought to the circle. And they were all ready to fight in the tournament. As they were transported to the tournament, they saw all the other universes getting prepared. Suddenly, the tournament began as Universe 9 Trio of Danger went after Vegeta and Goku since they were alone. Universe 9 charged at them, and Beerus was like, "What's going on?" Universe 9 Supreme Kai said this, "We heard how strong your universe was, Beerus. The Universe 6 and 7 tournament, everyone watched it. Everyone has heard about it on GodTube, and they saw how powerful they were. But I didn't see that Goku fella. So I'm gonna take down 2 of your best warriors. Take them down!" The Trio of Danger surrounded Goku and Vegeta, so did the rest of Universe 9, as they hit them with everything they got. But they both turned Super Saiyan and began to push them back, pushing them further and further. Even though they used great techniques, so did Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta kicked member after member, as Universe 9 began to dribble more and more and more, until it was wiped away. Universe 9 was in shock, as suddenly they were about to be erased. The Supreme Kai said, "No, no! How could 2 of your warriors take out my entire universe?" Beerus said, "Simple. Your universe is weak and pathetic. And here it goes." Suddenly, Universe 9 was erased. Universe after universe went. Suddenly, the 11th universe go after Hit, but Hit would push them all back with his time skip ability. Eventually, though, Jiren would begin to fight Hit. As this was going on, Kaba was fighting Cell. As Cell was defeating Kaba, suddenly Kaba's hair turned red, and he said, "What is this?" "I did the Super Saiyan God ritual. We used our Dragon Balls to see if there was any way to upgrade our team." He charged at Cell, punching him, and he began to beat up on Cell. But as Cell was about to get knocked out, suddenly he yelled in anger as his skin turned red, unlocking his Cell Max form. Cell would then say this as he picked up Kaba by the neck and began to choke him, saying, "You may be a god, but you're nothing compared to pure perfection." As they threw him off the ring, winning. Meanwhile, Hit was fighting Jiren, and Jiren was winning, but suddenly Hit closed his eyes. As his aura turned white, and Hit went into Ultra Instinct and used his time skip, hitting Jiren a bunch of pressure points, sending him back. Jiren and Hit then began to battle like they never battled before, with everything they got. Jiren used his 100% power, as Hit used his Ultra Instinct, pushing them further and further, but Hit had the advantage. He was a far better martial artist. And he also had Ultra Instinct with his time skip. Top was about to interfere, but suddenly something happened. Goku jumped in front of the way and said, "You really think you'll interfere?" Dispo ran in to interfere, but suddenly Frieza jumped in front of his way and said, "I don't think so. I think it's time we take down your universe once and for all." Top then charged straight at Goku, as Goku charged at him. They both battled with everything they had, but Top had the upper hand. So then Goku used his Kaioken blue form and began to charge up a massive Kamehameha and hit Top straight in the face as it blew him off the edge, making him be eliminated. Meanwhile, Frieza used the Kaioken golden form and punched Dispo, knocking him off the edge. Then hit Jiren and all of his pressure points, making him fall down. As Belmart screamed, "No! No! Jiren is powerful! How could this happen?" Hit said, "It's over, Jiren." Jiren looked up and said, "I know." As he fell off the edge, the 11th universe was erased. But as that happened, Kale and Caulifla punched Broly, sending him flying back. Broly got up and began to tap into his anger. Kale and Kefla then began to get beat up as Broly beat them limb from limb. He got angrier and angrier and angrier as suddenly they put on the Batara, fusing, making Kefla. Kefla and Broly began to battle. Kefla was far stronger than Broly at the beginning, but Broly's power kept rising and rising and rising. Kefla knew this, so she charged an epic Ki Blast to try to push Broly out. as it hit Broly, almost knocking him off the edge, but then he grabbed it and began to walk, pushing it further and further. As his anger grew, he just flew straight through the Ki Blast, yelling, "Ah!" Kefla shook in fear. How can this be? How can this be possible? Suddenly, Broly kicked Kefla off the edge, but then 2 orange arms grabbed Broly and threw him off the edge, causing him to be eliminated too, as it was 2 orange Namekians. These orange Namekians looked behind them as they saw Piccolo and Gohan, would then appear in front of them and say, "It's not time for the final battle," as he shot down a Ki Blast, creating smoke for them to get away. We cut to further in the tournament. All teams have been wiped out, except for Universe 7, Universe 6. Universe 7 has Piccolo, Gohan, Cell, Majin Buu, Frieza, Goku, and Vegeta. Universe 6 has the 2 Namekians, Frost, Hit. Gohan and Piccolo were battling the 2 Namekians as they were pushing each other further and further. But they absorbed all the other Namekians. Even though they did that, Piccolo was still stronger because of his intense training, because of what he went through, because of everything. He pushed himself further and further. However, no matter what they did, they had to end this match soon, as Hit was about to knock out Goku and Vegeta. So Piccolo grabbed both Namekians and jumped off the edge, knocking them out. Everyone was shocked. Suddenly, we cut to Vegeta, who gets knocked out by Hit, then Goku. As then Gohan, Majin Buu both charge straight at Hit. Meanwhile, Frost is battling Frieza and Cell. Cell charges at Frost as Frost punches him and turns gold. Frieza says, "You really think you can do that?" Well, guess what? He turns gold too and uses Kaioken. However, Frost has more potential, so they both blast a mighty Ki Blast straight at each other. Frieza goes, "A little help?" Sure thing. As Cell charges a Ki Blast of his own, helping, pushing Frost further and further. The Ki Blast hit Frost, knocking him off the edge. As then Frieza is barely breathing. Suddenly, Goku and Vegeta get knocked off the edge, as Majin Buu walks in. Cell, Gohan, and Frieza versus Hit with Ultra Instinct. Hit would suddenly knock Frieza out, as this shocked everyone. Suddenly, Majin Buu would use his powers to grab onto Hit, using his stretchy arms, but Hit would almost burst out. Then Cell would fly and push him. Cell would then say, "Wish them back, Gohan. I can see through this test." As Cell grabbed Hit, so did Majin Buu. They flew off the edge, causing them all to be eliminated, making Gohan the only one left. As he got his wish, he wished to bring all the universes back, and it was a test and they passed. However, the story does not end here. We cut 2 months later. You see Cell, Majin Buu, and Frieza found a time chamber, and they got the Super Dragon Balls twice. They wished for eternal youth, and that Zeno can't erase them. Then they trained for thousands of years. As they came out, they were ready to kill Zeno and all of the angels. Gohan would be studying when suddenly he felt a sharp pain course through his veins. As he looked down, he saw a fist go through his chest. He fell to the floor as he saw Cell standing above him. He could barely breathe. Cell said, "You were a fun rival while you lasted. If you trained as much as I did, you might even be stronger than me, but it's over, Gohan. Goodbye." He blasted him away with the Ki Blast. Piccolo would charge in and turn orange, but then one death beam would kill him. Frieza then would blow up the planet. As suddenly Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu would all fly to Beerus's planet. Beerus would get up and say, "Look at this. Do you really think you can beat me?" Frieza would turn into his black form as it shook the entire planet and said, "Let me have this one. I've been under him for far longer." Cell said, "Fine, fine." Frieza charged, punching Beerus so hard his nose broke. He got back up and began the battle. But no matter what he did, no matter how he fought, he was always on the losing end. Frieza began to torture him, firing death beam after death beam, hitting him all the pressure points. He barely stood up. As Frieza said, "Remember when we first met? If I annoy you, you'll erase me. Well, you annoyed me, Beerus. I guess I should erase you." As he holds up his hand, he goes Akai and erases Beerus. Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu go to planet, destroying destroyer after destroyer until the Omni King notices. And suddenly, the Grand Priest and the Royal Guards would appear with Zeno. The Grand Priest suddenly transformed into his true form as he charged at Cell and began to battle. Meanwhile, Majin Buu and Frieza battled the 2 Royal Guards. Suddenly, Majin Buu would absorb the Royal Guards, but the Grand Priest was still too powerful as they were pushing them all back. The Grand Priest says, "I will not let you do this. I will not let you destroy the Omni King." The Omni King kept trying to erase him, but it didn't work. He began to cry, scared. Cell says, you know what the Omni King is? He's an overgrown child. You should be ashamed to protect them. Once he's dead, we'll be able to do whatever we want. The universes will truly be free, but most importantly, they will no longer be a being above me. My perfection will be everything. My perfection will be perfect, and the perfect being will have no one above him. He said, going into his max form, charging a Kamehameha. As Frieza charged the Ki Blast, Majin Buu charged the Ki Blast, and the Grand Priest charged the Ki Blast. It was an epic beam struggle. They pushed everything they had into it. Every single bit of energy, every single bit of power. And it kept going for hours and hours until the beam struggle finally ended. It killed the Grand Priest and Zeno. As Cell, Frieza, and Majin Buu were free to do whatever they wanted. The Grand Priest and Zeno were killed. And the universes were now under anarchy. And it's now up to the mortals to decide their own destiny.